here at the brokerage is bringing new agents to KW from other brokerages, as well as people just getting into the business. And one of the common questions, it's kind of funny, that they ask me is, why am I here? I obviously go through this process of asking them a lot of questions about their goals, where they're wanting to get to, what the gap is in their business, the challenges. And it's funny because one of the questions they turn back on me and say, well, why are you here? Show me. And as I started to reflect, one of the very common answers that I give is the culture here at KW. And it's so hard to actually explain what culture is. Like, that's a word that's thrown around so consistently in our society today. And so I realize that I'm a part of that as I say, yeah, the culture. And I have to try and explain what that looks like. And so today I wanted to really outline what KW culture is, because KW has done a really good job at actually defining culture for our organization. And as we share some of these things, you actually might think of experiences on how you've been impacted by Keller Williams. And I would love to just throw this out there. If you have been positively impacted in some way, I would love to get a few stories in a minute. So I'm going to ask you to raise your hand if you have been impacted, and just feel free to share where you've witnessed culture and seen something that's really inspiring to you, or where you have benefited from the culture here at KW. So next slide, Hunter. We're going to watch this video and then have this conversation.
So there's actually a lot of videos like that that showcase a lot of the culture here at KW. And one of the things that Gary Keller says, anybody know what he says about money, what the purpose of money is? Yeah, he actually says two things, and they were both just said. So one, to finance the perfect life. And the second thing is, he says money is good for the good that it can do. Right. And we're going to dive into a little bit more definition on what that actually looks like. But here's an interesting document that we have, and it's called Culture in Action. Okay. And this is, there's actually another section on the top that I didn't include in this. So you can see we're starting on number 17. But this actually defines what culture looks like. How does it show up in business and in life? And there's 4 that I want to point out specifically. Number 21 is that part of what we do here at KW is that we understand that the higher purpose of business is to give, share, and care. Okay. The higher purpose of business is to give, share, and care. Number 23 is helping someone in the market center willingly and with a smile, even though you are busy. We know that everybody's busy. Like, that is the reality for everybody in every industry today, right? We understand that. And those who are purposeful around still being able to show up and support others in need is such a huge value for our culture. Number 26 is committing to donating to KW Cares. Now, for some of you, KW Cares might be a little bit new. And one of the things that's really cool about KW Cares is the amazing charitable contributions that organization makes on a consistent basis. Oftentimes, actually, nobly, are you okay if I make you cry? Will you just share something I've heard you say before around how you feel when there's a disaster happens? What do you see typically on the roads?
Usually the first thing you see, even before the disaster hits, is a semi. I told you I'd cry if you made me tell this story. A semi heading down the road that's KW Cares, heading to the disaster with generators, water, supplies before the disaster even hits. And that's KW Cares in action before, because they know what's going to happen and they want to be prepared and go down to help the KW associates before they even need it.
Yeah. There's another video I didn't share, but it was a leader in a market center. They had 200 and something agents in their office when a hurricane hit. And they shared the overwhelm of gratitude that they had seeing those KW Cares trucks show up to serve all those 200 families. And that's the stuff that we don't see day to day. I know we're in a little unique place here in Utah. Luckily, we haven't had any massive natural disasters yet, but the reality is it could be us at some point.
We did have an earthquake a couple of years ago that did affect the market center and some associates in Midvale. And Johnny was asleep and he got a call from KW Cares in Texas and said, "Are you okay? Are your associates okay? What about the earthquake?" And Johnny's just like, "What earthquake?" Like, they knew about it. They reached out to the region and they were like ready to go. Like, "What do you need? What can we send you?" and they were on top of it.
I would love to just get some, and there's actually two more, sorry, or one more. So number 52 is to be nice. Just realize that kindness matters, right? It goes a long way. And I think I would love to just hear some maybe experiences. It could be tied to these four things. It could be something completely different of how your life has been impacted by KW culture or how you've seen culture in action. Amber?
Okay, so seeing that video actually jogged a memory. So I came over to KW in December, and that was 2017, right before that happened, and that hurricane in Houston and all the craziness that happened. And so I was really excited actually to go to family reunion that year, like my first year at KW. I'm going to go to family reunion, see what this is all, as a new KW associate. And within like 2 weeks before family reunion, they canceled the whole family reunion event and turned it into Mega Relief. And I had only been here like 2 months, 3 months at that time. And I was like, holy cow, that's amazing. And I went down and like handed out food at the food bank. And it was just a really cool experience.
That's awesome. Thank you. Thank you, Amber. Taylor? Molly, were you raising your hand as well?
Well, one thing for me looking at the list is I'm trying to find the one that says hugs, but I can't find it. What
You
number,
get a lot of those from Johnny?
what number was that one? Because that's my favorite, but I know it's on there. 5 hugs a day or something like that. No, but my favorite thing with Keller Williams culture for me has definitely been how much it pushes me to grow, not only in business, but in all aspects of life. So continuing to set goals, continue to push, continue to grow, just improve who I am.
I was looking upstairs at the front desk and I thought, I've got to come down here and share this story. It's a personal story. I joined KW about 5 years ago, and I was a single mom, and funds were really, really tight, and it was around Christmas time, and nobody really knew. And Novalee called me into her office and she gave me this check. And I thought, what is this for? And she said, it's an anonymous donor that wants to help you with Christmas. And I still, to this day, do not know who did that for my family. So that is KW culture. So thanks. So whoever it is, thank you guys.
And then Dean?
Yeah, I just wanted to share a story. This literally happened yesterday. Again, one of those questions, hey, do you have a minute? And I said, of course. And an agent said, what is the least amount that I need to take from a seller when I list a property? And I said, well, help me understand. She said, well, neighbor of mine, about 6 months ago, she was diagnosed with terminal cancer. And then her husband shortly thereafter lost his job. Well, he just got a new job, but it's in Indiana. And so I want to give that way. I don't need to make something off of every transaction, but what can I do? And literally we had that conversation on how she could bless our lives by taking the least amount because it's going to be tight. Anyway, that's just something that came from an agent. It wasn't something we're trying to instill in somebody, but it just was built in.
That's powerful. Thank you, Dean. Jenna?
I can't name all the people who have helped me since I've been here, but it seems like almost every time I'm in the office, someone comes up to me and just offers advice or help or something. And just the top of the list would be, Dean, obviously, Susie, Angie, Johnny pulled me into his office and gave me an hour to help me out because I'm a single working mom and I was facing potential cancer, and which I don't have, but he gave me some great advice on how to figure out my life. And then Mason, the week before he died, spent several hours with me, several days in a row, mentoring me and teaching me answering all my questions with some really difficult buyers, giving me email, just, figuring out how to do emails and how to answer questions. And it was just the day after he was helping me that he passed away. So KW culture has really impacted my life for sure.
Thank you, Jenna.
And I hope to give back.
Who's participated in our Red Day experience? Okay. Red Day is a pretty amazing part of our culture. Every year across the globe, we shut down business and we focus on supporting those in need in our community. And obviously every year we look at different ways to serve and to make an impact. And I've shared this with our leadership team. I don't know who recalls me sharing this when I first stepped into the team leader role, was that I have this belief that great organizations, great companies are the ones that have a massive ripple effect on the communities that they serve in. And a lot of times it's invisible. Okay. There's actually a lot of people here in Utah County who would say that they're not familiar with Keller Williams, but maybe they've heard of the brand name, right? And at the same time, I actually believe that by how our people show up for our community and for their buyers and sellers, this story that Dean just shared, one of our agents saying, I don't need to profit on every transaction. This is somebody that's in need and I'm willing to help and serve. Like those are the stories that oftentimes don't get told, but that's culture in action. And that has a massive ripple effect for generations to come. And so I do believe that how we show up has a massive impact on the future of Utah. And there's two things that I would like to share. And then I'm going to ask Susie to come up with me in a moment. We know that we had a tragedy earlier this year that rocked a lot of people. And this was something that was completely out of the blue and something that you don't expect. I know a lot of people have shared stories of having interactions with Mason just the week before he passed. And there's something in that video that they said, one of the gentlemen, he said, this could be my stuff back here in a pile of junk. Because I assume they were asking him, why are you out here doing this? And I think that's one of the intentions we have to have with life, is just being aware of other people's situations and understanding that this could have or could be me in the future. Like tragedies do happen. And asking the question of how would I like people to show up for me in those moments? And there's a great book called The Go-Giver. Has anybody read that book before? The Go-Giver. Will transform your business, will transform your life. Small read, short read. But one of the things it talks about, it says the true measure of success in life comes from what you give, not from what you get. The true measure of success in life comes from what you give, not from what you get. And I had this experience in 2016. I went to this event in San Francisco. It was called Epic Impact at the time. It's now called Abundant. They have these experiences that they take leaders through, sales leaders across the country. And one of the things that hit me so hard was Ben Skemper, who's a great friend and mentor to me to this day. He shared this thought, and I realized in my life how impactful this has been. I've shared my story a few times, and I have been on the receiving end of charitable contributions. And I highly believe that that is why I am and who I am today, is because of other people's kindness and their willingness to go out of their way of giving time, giving money, giving support. And Ben said that one of the things that separates great leaders or great people in this life is that you'll find people who give until it hurts. And he went through and helped me to understand that one of the greatest achievements that you can get to in life is finding out how to put other people's needs equal or more so sometimes than yours. And Susie, Clyde, if you'd be willing to come up for a moment with me. I'll play this video.
I just had to go back to the funeral home to pick up updated death certificates. And coming back here really because my husband was found dead while I was out of the country. I didn't see him until he was at the funeral. So this is where I saw him for the first time since I had left the country. And the last time that I saw him before he was cremated, it just is really hard to go back in there.
So I just want to share one thought and then I'll pass it on to Susie and Jake, is that we have somebody in our community that is deeply hurting at this moment. And Brenna has not asked for this support. She's not asked for this help, but this is how we show up. And Susie, I'd love for you to maybe just share your experience with Mason and some thoughts. And then Jake, you as well.
Turn it on. Oh, there it is. I think today is all about an invitation and a call to action, because we can show up and we can show how much we loved Mason, and we can do that for Brenna. Mason was amazing. Mason, he would do showings for me, and I never knew until just this last week that he lived in Santaquin, and he would go to Heber City and Salt Lake City to do showings for me. But I know we had a team meeting after he passed, and we just all had so much to say about Mason. He was the epitome of KW culture. What was it you just said earlier about there was a fundraiser last year? And
oh yeah, I think the overall theme is show up. And I was looking through the vendor donations from Milo Jorgensen's fundraiser, and she showed up to that. She doesn't know the org.
Brenna showed up.
Brenna and Mason showed up to it, and she had won one of the items, and that meant a lot to me. They show up for us, and it only makes sense that we show up for them.
Okay, so the call to action today is not this Saturday, but the following Saturday, the 7th. We have a 5K fundraiser that Jake and Susie Love, I'm being this other Susie today, have worked so hard to try to get everyone to rally. And as of yesterday, we have 6 single runners and 10 families signed up. And I asked Jake this a little bit earlier. I said, who of our KW agents are signed up? Me and Jake are signed up.
There's a couple others.
Okay. And Angie, raise your hand. Okay. Oh, that makes me feel so much better. We have got to show up in our, wear your red shirts. We want to show Brenna how much we loved her. It's not even just about, we've had different people say they'll donate, and I know everyone's busy. We're all busy, but this is bigger than Red Day in my mind, because this is one of our own. This is showing up for our own, our very own, that we all loved dearly. So put on your red shirts, or I know there's cute black ones that say KW too. Show up in your KW gear, and we can do this. Do you want to give details? 8 o'clock is registration.
9 o'clock's the race. We'll have a silent auction right after. There's all really cool things that you guys can bid on, not only for your business, but personal life as well. And if you do have a vendor, we're happy to put an additional item there as well. So super fun for the whole family. We'll have face painters, and we'll also have balloon artists. You don't have to run. You can walk.
I'm going to walk.
Exactly. That's exactly right. There is a timing company that will help, but Angie's right. You don't have to actually walk it if you don't want, but please show up. Here's the call to action though. I have a sign up sheet because some of you either can't reach the QR code in the back, but I can also lock you down right here.
Yes.
So I'm going to pass this
that
around.
baby around.
Contact me. My number is the first number on here. If you have a product, even from yourself that you'd like a good, some people are donating a home warranty, or some people doing a listing photography, or just a blanket. My grandma's quilting a blanket for this. Go ahead. Yeah, it's the Wayne Bartholomew Park in Springville. I don't know what the address is, but put in your Googles. Yep. Yes. I got New Skin to donate a huge basket. We have doTERRA. We have Blender Bottle. Like there's a bunch of people that have donated that have nothing to do with real estate, because we'll have people from the community come in too. So I asked those people, because those are those companies, because those were just my friends that worked for those companies. And so I say, hey, this means a lot to me. Will your company donate this? Just as an example. So if you have an idea, reach out to me. I'd love to add them to the list.
So another thought with your call to action is, besides showing up yourselves, if you could post it and ask your SOI, your family and friends, to come be part of it, and that it's something that means a lot to you. It's another outreach into the community, showing that you care about the community, but it's just another way to even rally even more, because we really want to rally for this.
Yeah, we have this flyer that was sent to an email to the whole brokerage. We'll send it again today. You can put that on your social media or ask your family. And trying to think if there was other things that they, okay. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Anybody that wants to run, if you got friends that want to run.
Yes, anybody and everybody. Yep. Yes.
Run, walks, auction on things.
Yeah, this will be
face paint,
fun.
all-
You got a ton of really
all the
cool
things.
items, and probably jazz tickets, a med spa gift card. Like there'll be a lot of things that you can bid on and hopefully win.
Anything else? Do we miss anything?
Just these are some additional ideas on how you can help. And so again, sometimes giving is financial, sometimes it's time, sometimes it's just support. So here are some additional ideas. If you want to help with this impact, you can door knock and invite. We do need people to knock that neighborhood, and I'll have Jake speak to that in just a sec. Invite, if you know any high school teams that do run or are athletes, that would be awesome to just get people there and in supporting this. So if you have any connections there, that would be great. Standing outside a grocery store, handing out flyers. And we talked about this yesterday, like that's a great way even just to turn into natural real estate conversations. Okay. And I'm not meaning to turn this into a profit opportunity, but what naturally happens is when you serve and you show up, business is a byproduct of how well you serve and impact. Posting on running communities on Facebook, if you are a part of any of those. We are collecting both new and used gift cards. So if you got a gift card with $2 on it, please donate that. If you got a gift card with $100 on it, we'd love that. And then if you have any news outlet connections, that would be awesome as well to get them there, highlighting this opportunity for us to be able to serve and impact. Jake, you had a thought on?
Yeah, I was just going to say, you mentioned this, the gift card. That was the other thing I was going to say. Like we're going to do a gift card roulette. So if it only has 50 cents, please bring it in. We'd love that. But yeah. What's the other? Oh, we're incentivizing you guys to sign up early. So it's $30 for an individual and $50 for your whole family. At the door, it's going to be $35 at the door at the event. That's outside. $35 for an individual and $60 for a family. So we'd still love for you to come day of, even if you haven't signed up, but we want to incentivize you to sign up early.
I just want to add, showing up to things is when you get those connections and bond with other agents, and you'll actually come out of it with more than what you came to it with, right? So I'm just curious, who in this room can commit? I'm going to do a commitment. Stand up if you're willing to show up on Saturday and walk, run, be there with us.
Taking a video.
Nobly, quick, get their names. Thank you. That's what we need. Put on your KW shirts.
KW what?
Shoes. Okay.
Thank you. Last thing on this is I do want to acknowledge as well that the KW leadership generously, we have some amazing leaders, and they are matching up to $10,000 in donations for this as well. So I'm super grateful for that. So let's support, let's help out, and definitely make an impact.
Just yesterday's numbers really fast. We're seeing a growth in inventory. Right now, we have just about 3.5 months of inventory in Utah County. It actually dropped today. Monday is usually the worst day for running stats because agents haven't caught up with putting their under contracts that closed on Thursday or Friday. And putting those in. But I wanted just to show you something super quick on the MLS. I'm hoping Hunter's signed up, and I'm totally giving you grief. I'm going to scroll to the very top. Something, if you want, I wanted to show you an easy button. Yeah, under the statistics tab, there's this rapid stats button. How many have played with rapid stats? Okay, there's a few of you. Okay, nerds. That's awesome. But when I click on that, it's supposed to launch. There it goes. It gives you this dashboard and tells you right now what's going on. These are all the actives across the whole multiple listing service. Here's the secret of the day. Go into the market summary. Select that one. There's an infographic here that you can post every month. I would say wait until about the second or third of the month. So you should do this next week. Put this for all of your social marketing purposes that you use or social networks you use. I'm just going to pick Utah County. If I can find it, there we are. Just to give you an idea, you could also pick a specific city or a neighborhood. This will generate an infographic nearly instantly as it crunches numbers. We're watching it crunch on wireless. There we are. Ladies and gentlemen, all you need to do is right mouse click it, save this image to your device, post it, but it'll literally tell you the same thing. In Utah County, as of, this is August numbers. It'll also always give you the previous month's numbers, but it's a really cool infographic. I put this on my Lehigh link. So I use just Lehigh's numbers, and people are going, wow, I really like that layout. Yeah, it's awesome. I spent hours putting it together, but literally we have 1,880 listings as of in August, 730 sold. That also gives you some fun numbers. How many sold August of last year? 965. So it'll tell you where we are. And then we're at $213 a foot. We have about 2.5 months of inventory. And that was their average days on, our median days on market. And so it's, you get the numbers, or you can have it pretty and look at it that way. So anyway, just wanted to show you that super fast. And now what I wanted to quickly talk about, and I'm not going to stand up just because I'm going to show it to you this way. We talked about culture, and so I was piggybacking on what Shoni was doing. And so my bad dad jokes of the day, you know, what is it? Well, yogurt is a culture. And that's not really what we focus on. But got this, just did a quick search on the internet from Texas A&M. Those of you who are alum, you would say gig 'em. Culture is a way of life, a group of people, behaviors, beliefs, values, and symbols that we accept generally without thinking about them. And they're passed along by communication and imitation from one generation to the next. Guys, that's what we're about when we talk about culture. And so want to talk a little bit, but when I say what's not in culture, again, this is from that same list that Shoni had. These are some things, if you're not in culture, you would be disparaging other people, other agents, and how awful they are, other brokerages. Yeah, that's not in culture. And there are times when I'm the hypocrite because I know that I may say stuff. Being willing to walk away from a transaction that may compromise your principles. There is no one deal that'll make your career, but I promise you there will be deals that will destroy your career. And that's why we talk about that. Being considerate of the staff. Now that's because I'm on staff and I hate it when people cuss me. So I'm saying that. Sometimes we get impatient, and I want you to know that I have Novalise back big time. I have had agents literally walk in, hand her a commission check from title and say, I'm waiting. And they start tapping their foot. That's not how it works. But I want you to know we do our darndest to get it out within 24 hours of our receiving it. And so most of the time it is same day, but we try to do that. If you're not paying your market center bills on time, you're out of culture. Responding to clients' calls and concerns in a timely manner. You know who they are, but have you ever dealt with an agent who ghosts you? You're on a deal, you're doing a deal, and you can't get a hold of him or her? Don't be that agent, please. This is a big deal, putting God, your family first, and business second. That really is who we are. And I hope that you keep those priorities. You know, this is an industry where we see a lot of families breaking up. And it's tragic. And so what I'm saying is put the priorities first. Last one, you may not believe this, but if you are not profitable, you are not in culture. We want you to be absolutely profitable in your businesses. We want you guys to thrive. And that's why we have things like our Uncommon Business Boot Camp and going through that. So anyway, that's all I wanted to say about all that fun stuff. So Shoni, back to you.
Thanks, Dean. Sweet. Thank you. We are going to pivot. I was going to show a video, but for the sake of time, we're going to do something a little bit different. We're going to have story time. Is that okay if I read a book to you guys? I'm just going to read the, you won't want to take a nap on this book, actually. This is going to keep you awake. So this is another one of the great Keith Cunningham books. I've shared in the boot camp, The Road Less Stupid is another little pocket book that he has. But this one is called The Ultimate Blueprint for an Insanely Successful Business. The subheading is Great Operators Get Tired and Great Business Owners Get Rich. And I'm just going to share a few principles from this. And this video we'll save for another time just because it is a little lengthy. But here's a little message from Keith to kick off this book and why he created this. So the question that's in quotes is he says, how do I get big so I can get rich? So explaining how do I grow my business? Okay, is a question that people commonly ask. This one question is the silent saboteur of small businesses. A better question would be, what did the big guys do that caused the profits and cash flow that allowed them to get big? So start thinking about, we've talked about this at KW, the models, right? There are people who've already achieved the level of success that you want to achieve. There are people who are doing 200, 300 deals as a team, or solo individuals doing 40. We actually have some in this office doing 40, 50 deals this year as solo agents, having great years. And so a good question to ask is, what did they do that caused success? Very simple question. He says the answer is not just one thing. Business is complex, and anyone who says it isn't is either stupid or is trying to sell you on their flavor of the Kool-Aid for that month. Business owners struggle financially because they are too busy growing and operating the business and not running the business end of the business. It's not that they don't want to, it's that that no one ever taught them how. We've shared this in Business Bootcamp that there's times where you work on your business and there's times where you work in the business. Real estate's a little bit different than other industries where we actually get very stuck in routine of working in the business, and we spend very little time actually working on our systems, right? Getting clarity around some of the roadblocks for our business. So this last piece, Warren Buffett said, if you can't read the scoreboard, you don't know the score. If you don't know the score, you can't tell the winners from the losers. So I'm going to share just two principles from this book. How he outlines it is there's 24 blueprint strategies. So he actually comes up and defines 24 different strategies. And there's a few that really stood out to me. So the second strategy, number 2, was thinking time and measuring time are the two highest forms of leverage. Thinking time and measuring time are the two highest forms of leverage. So you want to look for problems before they arise. Be skeptical about what could go right. Face reality by consistently measuring, find the root cause that produced the poor results, and build a machine that will change it. Okay, so this is all just about getting clarity around what's causing our success or lack of, and then putting solutions in place to adjust the result. Okay. Number 5. Number 5 is what gets measured is what gets done. What gets measured is what gets managed. What gets measured and reported improves exponentially. The question he poses is, what are you measuring and how are you being accountable to those numbers? We got one more. So the third one I'm going to share is principle number 11. He says that business and financial analysis are to business owners what blood tests and MRIs are to doctors. Sustainability requires looking under the hood to locate the silent but deadly killers that will sabotage you every time. So how much is slipping through the cracks in your business? For those who were in boot camp today, we talked about some of those principles. And Mark Richards talked about how important it is to measure what matters in our business. There's actually a really good book that's titled that, Measure What Matters. And the question might be, are you tracking how many leads are coming into your business each month? Are you tracking how many listing appointments you're setting in your business each month? Are you tracking how many appointments are converting to signed BBAs or listing agreements? Are you tracking the conversion of your database? The people that already know, like, and trust you, what is the conversion rate? So when you start to look at these things, it actually tells you where you need to focus your energy, where you need to develop more skill sets, right? But in order to get there, you first have to start tracking it. So that's going to be our small little message for today, is start getting clear about what you need to track in your business. If you need some help with that, we've got this little printout for those who are not in boot camp. You didn't get this. You can come grab this sheet. Those who were in boot camp, make sure you have time blocked on your calendar, 30 minutes this week, to go through and answer these questions for yourself. Okay, because this is going to provide a lot of breakthroughs for you. I know that was a lot for us to go through today, right? I know energetically, especially those who are in the boot camp, it's a lot to be here for 2 hours, but we appreciate you. We know this is going to make a difference on your energy levels, your attitude going into fourth quarter. So still show up, stay committed. It's through consistency that you're going to get the results you want. Okay, so we appreciate all of you and have a wonderful week. Thank you.